This is Maddie. What's up?
Yeah.
Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Maddie Michelson. I am an IFBB Bikini Pro and I'm the founder of the Empowered Coaching Collective. We are a lifestyle and functional health coaching team. If you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, go down to the description. I can't speak, I just had ice. Go down to the description of the video and fill out an application link, and then we'll just set up a freebie little call, get to know one another and see if we could be a good fit for you. But I had a highly requested video and I didn't even realize how much time had passed. So I wanted to come on here and give you guys my 1 year post-op update of the girls. You guys, look at the new crops that we have. How cute are these little Empowered crops? They're gonna be releasing for everybody on August the 1st, should be when we have everything out between the crops and the highly requested Empowered Hydro Jugs. I'm so excited for these to be out. So let's chat. I have been writing down all your questions because I want to make sure that I get every single one answered. Now, if I don't answer all of your questions, or if you have more questions, I haven't been as great about being on YouTube lately. So go over to my Instagram at madsbitchyfitness and I will make sure that I answer any questions that you have. I used to get so frustrated actually when girls would ask, when I would ask girls like, hey, what size implant did you get? And girls would be like, I'm not telling you. Or they'd be like, yeah, like I got this size, but like on everybody it's gonna look different. And boy, like, do I wanna put my foot in my mouth now, because they were so right. Like the size that I got, I know I got 2 different sizes. Don't even quote me on this. I think I have 340 something in one and 360 in another. I didn't even think I had breasts that were different sizes. And to be honest with you, like if you're watching this and you haven't watched the first video or the intro videos to when I was deciding to get the operation, go watch those first, because a breast augmentation was like never something that I felt like I needed. In fact, I didn't even want to get the operation until once I had decided that I was gonna be like taking a decent amount of time away from the stage, because I didn't want to feel this pressure to get back to training. And I'm going to get into this into a little bit more detail, but like my training has truly been impacted, I would say negatively, as a result of having the operation done. Now, I am a talker. I would share all of the details of my initial operation all over again, but for the sake of time, I'm not gonna do that. So like I said, if you wanna know who I went to for the operation or the logistics or why I flew all the way to Canada, go check that video out. Now, something that you guys may not know is my mom is my all-time best friend, my #1 ride or die. I would do anything for that woman and she would do anything for me. I actually didn't tell her about the operation, and when she found out about this operation that I got done about a month after it happened, she didn't talk to me for a whole month, and that was like the worst time of my life. Now, once she kind of learned that it wasn't something that I really did out of like vanity per se, like I always liked the look of them, but it wasn't because I was trying to like be promiscuous. And I think she could see like my whole life I've had more just like alpha energy. I wakeboarded and I weightlifted and I did the bodybuilding thing, and so we actually had like a heart-to-heart a couple months ago as we kind of finally started talking about the subject of a breast augmentation. And she was like, you know, I really think that it did in many ways help you to step into feminine energy. And I'm even at the space where one day when I have kids, like honestly, I might get these suckers out, because now that I'm training for high rocks, it has really kind of set me back in terms of being able to do all the exercises that I want to do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into some of these questions. I want to go ahead and just kind of jump into question number 1, which is, when did my weight stabilize back out? Now, when I was going into the operation, I'm gonna be completely frank with you, like I was still pretty lean. I had like visible abs, and right now I have visible abs. So I didn't really gain anything like in the operation. I think I fluctuated like that week after like 3 pounds. I know some girls, like, they get constipated, all the things, and they're up like 10, 12 pounds. Like, that was not the case for me. When I actually started gaining weight post-op was when I got into a relationship and I was just eating out more and drinking, to be completely frank. So I haven't been back to my like pre-op or post-op weight literally since now. And that was like 134, 135, which is where I'm sitting right now. But my macros are really low, my output is really high, and I don't plan on staying here. I would say that like my set point weight at 5'5" is probably like low to mid 140s. And that's where my hormones seem to be the happiest. So yeah, I mean, I think it's possible to not gain any weight as long as you're still eating clean and you know you're eating whole foods. But to be honest, I didn't eat less following my operation. I ate the exact same going in. Do I advise for anybody to go into an operation like immediately off the stage? No, I've seen a lot of girls do that and it makes for a terrible recovery. Because not only is your ghrelin and leptin skewed and off, but you're also super, super lean, and then you're like inevitably gonna gain a little bit of body fat back because you're being less active. So it's just, I don't know. I don't think that that's the best idea. I think you need to let your internal body like get back to a healthy body fat, or at least somewhat healthy, before you do an operation like that. Because you also have to think about when you're that lean, a lot of your body's functions, including healing, are slowed down. Like your body is not going to work to heal incisions and create a capsule around a foreign body. So that kind of has me touch on my second question, which is like, as a functional health coach, why would you get a breast augmentation? And like, did you have concerns about things like you know, capsular contracture or your body rejecting the implant? And the answer is, of course. I think with anybody who gets an operation like this, you are going to have the doubt or that fear in the back of your mind of like, what if I do this and my body rejects it? And I was fully prepared for the case where my body might. I mean, growing up, I was allergic to the bonding agent in my braces. I had 3 different sets of braces. I wound up having Invisalign for 4 years. Like, I have a body that doesn't like foreign objects. My body rejected a dental implant to the point where my gum completely receded away from the implant. You could see the screw, like it was bad. And it was like the nicest implant, not like a metal one. So I kind of knew that going in. So, and this is something that I would advise for anybody, I actually did a very comprehensive, very comprehensive immunological assay before I went into the test. That was a panel that I created. I can call it in for any one of you as a heads up, but it was a panel that I created that looked at various immunological markers in my body. And it was like an autoimmune panel. So I could literally see if there was anything that was remotely going to flag or that I needed to address prior to the operation. Another test that I did before I went into the operation was a GI map, okay? Because if you have a microbial imbalance in your gut, your body's propensity to want to attack a foreign body is higher. So going into the operation, I did both of those things and both were clear. On the back end of the operation, 6-8 months later, I did the immunological assay again. I did the antibody panel again. Thank God there was nothing that was wrong or that had happened. Now, my surgeon gave me a specific prescription medication that was also meant to help my body prevent the capsular contracture from happening. The other things that I did supplementally, which is another one of my questions, what supplements did I take? I'm a big fan of the New Youth Collagen from New Ethics. I have a discount code. I'll link it down below for you guys. And then if you like a flavor, this Ancient Nutrition Multi-Collagen Protein, again, I'll put my full script down below if you guys want to order from that. You can get a discount, is why I say that. But they have a chocolate bone broth that's literally like hot chocolate. It's so freaking good. I'll throw that in there too, but collagen makes such a difference in your healing, not only in your gut health, but also in your body's ability to heal. Now, in addition to that, I was a stickler for like refrigerated probiotics. Your gut is literally part of your body's immune system, and this is the Therabiotic Complete. It's got 25 billion CFUs. It's not always about the number of CFUs, okay, but about the various bifidobacteria that's in a probiotic. I really like this one, and yeah, I took that religiously in my recovery, as well as peptides. All right, so that leads me to my third point. I did add in peptide therapy along with some other supplements too. I don't even have the other supplements, but I have a list of them on my full script. So if you guys want me to send you the list of like my comprehensive post breast aug supplements, I'm happy to send you that tiered list of things. But I did TB500, that was an injectable peptide. Again, our company, our medical doctors can prescribe that to you, so you know that you're getting the real deal. You're not getting anything that's like, I don't know, like white label. Like it's nothing that's like fake, okay? But we do peptide memberships with us. We do peptide consultations. We do peptide protocols. And this is honestly, even if you're in like a prep and want to try peptides, I'm a huge advocate for them because they're naturally occurring in your body, okay? So it's a natural thing. TB500, and then I also did oral BPC 157. This is GHKCU. This is what I'm taking right now, but this is annular, okay? I have a discount code for annular. Let me see if it will load. Here we go. They have a BPC 157 that I love. I like to take it orally too because it's really, really great for your gut health. So I was taking it at that time for healing. Yes, BPC 157 and TB 500 are both powerhouses for if you've got any sort of like ligament issues or tendon issues, or you're recovering from a surgery or an injury. That healed me so freaking fast, you guys. It's so interesting because my body actually spit a stitch. So when I got home from Canada, over the course of the next like month and a half or like month, I had a stitch like down below underneath here. I still have the scar from it, and my body was like, it would like open up and like sometimes pus and sometimes not. And I remember there was one day I was at the beach and like tanning and everything was fine, and then I came home and got out of the shower and I was like, what's that black dot? And I looked closer underneath and it was like a hole, and there was no blood or anything coming out of it, but it was like a gaping hole. Like it was like I could see inside, and I was like, oh my God, it's not a black dot, that's the inside of my breast. And so I DM'd my surgeon, or I texted him. Thank God he gave me his number. He was like always available around the clock. And he was like, is your boyfriend around? And I was like, my boyfriend is not gonna touch this. And so I had to go in with tweezers. I know my mom's probably gonna watch this and be like, damn right you did, you deserved it. But yeah, I had to go in with tweezers and pull the stitch. Nonetheless, it did heal up immediately, but my surgeon was like, I have never seen healing this fast. And he was all kind of like into natural remedies and functional health and all the supplements and things like that. My body bounced back, and my gut health was great too, which you don't tend to see on the other side of surgery. So yeah, just want to put that out there. Now, other things that I wanted to talk about was, how did my training change? So this has been a huge adjustment for me. I know a lot of girls that go back to doing pull-ups and push-ups and chest focused movements. To be honest with you, now that I'm not like bodybuilding for the stage per se, I don't, and even with breast tissue, like I don't need to train my chest. The chest is there. Like it looks like I have muscles here. So I don't train any direct chest, but I will say it's kind of a pain in the ass when now I'm training for High Rocks. I'm at this gym where we will do a lot of like toe to bar, where you're like hanging like this and your toes swing and come up and hit the bar. Or we do a lot of burpees. I still do burpees, but I don't do like a push up. I just kind of like come down, let my chest tap and hit the floor, come up and do a jump. I'm not so limited in that like I feel like I miss out on classes, but I will say Wednesday afternoons they do an upper body focus class where they do they have one focused compound lift every week, like on, oh, I just hit my ear, on like, it'll be like squats on leg day or deadlifts or something like that, and we do barbell chest press, and I don't even go, because I'm not gonna do a compound lift like that. Now, I don't need it, right? And I currently, to be honest, I don't really miss it. I just wish that I could do a pull-up. Again, there's a lot of women that do. I don't like the feeling of it. I don't like seeing, like the other day I did most of the movements and I got to the end of my workout and my breasts were kind of like this. Like you could tell that the muscles were tense and the muscles were pushing them out to the side, and they like went back. Like it was fine by the next day, but like, why would you do that? You know, like don't be stupid. If you want to train like that and you want to risk maybe having another operation, by all means. I don't like being under the knife. I don't know who does. And like, I don't even know that I really like adore them. Like I love them, but like, would I do it again? I think I would think twice. But we're gonna get there. So the next note is clothing changes, etc. So it was really interesting. Like for the first 6 months post-op, I was still able to fit in all of my tops and in all of my sports bras. And like, I say it was so interesting, but it's really not, right? Like they haven't dropped in fluffed, they haven't settled in. So they're kind of sitting up high on your chest. And I know it looks like right now they're sitting like high on my chest, but you have to understand, like I'm wearing a sports bra, okay? They sit really normally, like in a shirt and things like that. Now, I did get a size that like I could conceal pretty well, but nonetheless, they sat up higher and I could fit in everything perfectly fine. And then like month 8, 9 came, and all of a sudden I did not fit in everything fine. I probably did have to repurchase or purchase new shirts and probably 75% of my sports bras. It's not because I couldn't wear them, but to be honest, it was just like uncomfortable. I was always pulling them up. And I definitely didn't like wearing like low support sports bras when I was training. I like to have them like really held in tight. Now, I was instructed by my surgeon, and every surgeon is different, but I was instructed by my surgeon for 6 months post-op to always sleep in something like this. Like this is like a little Target bralette. I think this one is too. This might've been like this is just like a little one like this. I have a ton of these, like little Calvin-esque bralettes for sleeping, and to be honest with you, I still sleep in them. And I was always a girl, even growing up, that slept in like just a t-shirt and underwear, and that's kind of like my favorite PJs. But I have to have like something on now, and it's like a comfort thing. Like I literally feel like naked and empty without. I would say it hasn't even been until like the last maybe 6 weeks where on the weekend sometimes I'll just walk around in like a tank top. Like I'll wear the Empowered tank top with nothing underneath it. But that's like very recent, and I don't even know how long I'm going to keep up with doing that. I honestly think it's just like sometimes I'll get home from the beach and I'm tired and lazy, and so I'll just throw on like a tank top like this. So yeah, that's definitely changed in terms of like clothing and whatnot. I also was told like not to wear underwire bras for a while, and I was just kind of lazy. Like I would just wear like pasties and then a top on top of that would just like hold them in. Usually I didn't need to wear bras, but I will say recently I have a photo shoot coming up. That's why I'm cutting. Thank God I'm almost done. I'm ready to start reversing. But I found this company called Lounge, and I bought like these bras. They're like very thin. There's no padding in them, and they're really soft. So I did finally invest in some bras. I just took my measurements. I think this is a 34C, but I could probably fit in a D as well. I don't really know what size I am. It's kind of weird once you have a boob job like that, but yeah, I just bought some of those in the event that I needed them, because sometimes like I do need a little bit more support, or I would like to wear a bra. So that will now give me the flexibility to do it. And then the last couple of things that I would like to address is, number one, I had some questions on like sleeping on my stomach and how I sleep. I was always a stomach sleeper, and your surgeon will tell you like, don't sleep on your stomach, at least for like, I don't know, the first like 6 months or whatever. I definitely can sleep on my stomach, and sometimes do now. Like I'll sleep like this, like on my arm, on my stomach. I can honestly sleep in any position now. I'm like a unicorn of sleeping because of my breast augmentation, because you have to sleep on your back when you're healing. But I definitely am a side sleeper, and that's just like the tea. I think after a breast augmentation, really anyone can sleep in any position. You just get really used to that because you have to go so long sleeping on your back. But yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I could sleep on my stomach if I wanted to. I think the hardest thing for me was like just like nipple sensitivity. I had some questions on that. Like I can feel things now, but it's probably like a year post-op where sensation is really coming back. For a while it just like tickled or felt numb, as TMI as that is. My scars have pretty much healed. Like they're still there. You could still kind of see them. But it's not like they are like raised or anything like that. To be honest with you, I bought the scar cream. I did all that I didn't even do it actually. I bought all the scar cream, but I didn't really stay on top of it. I live in Florida. I'm in a bikini all the time, and I was just like, screw it, you know? Like the incision is so small and it's underneath here. Like your breast tissue doesn't like hang over that, but it does kind of fold, so the crease is concealed. So I'm pretty sure that kind of answers everything and all of the questions. I know that when I was thinking about doing the operation, I was always looking for videos like this, like always looking for videos. So if you guys are interested in the operation and you have questions, if you're interested in taking a little bit more of a functional approach to the operation and just making sure that you are, you know, covering all your bases and making sure your body's not going to reject something like this, because it is a foreign object that you're putting in your body, we are here to help you. Transparently, I've kind of been struggling with what to put on YouTube, so having this input and this feedback has really helped. I am kind of in this weird limbo with the high rocks thing where I can't document everything because I'm in a gym with 40 or 50 other people, and I want to be respectful of their boundaries and privacy. And I'm dieting right now, so I can't even really film content on how to properly fuel for something like this, because I'm well aware I'm undernourishing relative to how I would want to train someone to nourish for a high rocks. Nonetheless, I might be taking a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube. If I do, I will be back, as I always am. But don't forget in the meantime to check out my podcast, The Psyche Behind the Physique. It's on Spotify and Apple. And if you guys aren't on there, then maybe you can leave a comment below and let me know if you would like for me to start recording the podcast and putting them on here, like some of the other podcasts that do have, you know, they have their podcast listed on other streaming services. In addition, we recently came out with 2 a la carte programs. Those programs are going to be starting on August the 1st. All right. We have Simplify, which is a 6-week program. And it is, you know, you've got different workouts for every single week. The program really builds upon one another, but it's meant specifically for the girl that's either, you know, coming back from summer vacations, the mom who's busy with kids going back to school, really focuses on like grocery lists for the whole family, simplifying routines, really getting back to something that feels good, healthy, and wholesome. You know, it's like really focuses on those foundational habits, simplifying routine, like I said, getting you into a really good rhythm in terms of your circadian health, you know, having grab and go things for when you're taking kids to practices or you're running into the office, if you're starting a new job. Like I said, just getting back into the routine of things. I think August is a really hectic time for a lot of people, and this is a time for you also to establish a routine and a regimen that feels good. So we've got Simplify coming out on August 1st right now. Applications are open for that. I'll put the link down below for Simplify. And we also came out with a 12-week High Rocks Prep program. Now, the High Rocks Prep program is going to be capped at 10 athletes. We are officially launching the program August 1st, but it is introduced right now at an introductory and discounted rate. each week there are 2 PDFs for both programs, but each week there's 2 PDFs for the High Rocks program, one that focuses on a nourishment practice and one that focuses on a specific skill of High Rocks, whether that's wall balls, ski erg, the rower, burpees, you know, your aerobic capacity, the runs, sled push, sled pull, all the different things. And then we actually end with a simulation of a High Rocks or a real High Rocks if you schedule or sign up for one. There's also a recovery focus in those PDFs, but really, really cool program. Every single week there's brand new workouts in the High Rocks program. So you get a total of, I think, like, what's that, 75 workouts or something like that across the 12 weeks. You get plugged into a coaching group. I'm in the groups in both of them. And then the winner of the Simplify program will get a month free of one-on-one coaching. So both programs, really, really cool. Would love to see you guys in them. If you're interested or want more information, click the link down below or head over to my Instagram at madsmitchyfitness. I'm there to answer any questions that you guys have. Be kind to one another. And don't forget to include yourself in the mix. And I will talk to you guys when I talk to you.